This here is my worm tower project. This is where I'm digging 3 to 4 foot deep holes and just putting kitchen scraps and organic material in the holes. This is a remnants of one. Looks like I've got 11, at least 11 of them. Anyway, from here over, they've all been filled in. And before I let the horses back out, I'll scrape it. I'll come back with a tractor bucket and scrape this because I want to make sure there's not an area where they step and fall in. Anyway, these last 4 I've got covered up. This one I've been adding material to it. We'll take a look. Kind of see it there. Last time I checked on it, there was a lot of roly-polies in there. Anyway, they'll help eat it also. Anyway, these 3 are empty, so these are future dumps. Once this one is full, I'll fill this one, then we'll fill this one, then we'll fill that one. Then from there, I'll decide if I want to keep going. I mean, from that point, we've got an entrance. I've got to have road access right here to get into that gate there. So I may step over 20 feet and start doing it over here because this is all rocky ground. And just an update, the worm tower allows me to put the organic material in there. The worms will come and eat it, turn it into good organic matter, and start just creating deeper topsoil. I mean, I think I've got about 2 inches of topsoil here. When I bought this place, this was all limestone, almost like that road over there. Just limestone base with hardly any vegetation. Boy, we moved in some soil, planted some Bermuda grass. But it really hadn't thrived here. So I've added the vetiver swale, which kind of waters this area here that stays green. I've got another swale here that's full of mulch. When the mulch breaks down, that's going to add topsoil. And then I've got the worm towers here. So all three of those things are going to add water and nutrients and topsoil to this area. You can see where the low spot is, where the overflow point is. And I'm kind of just following it down. It goes down to what I call the diversion swale. And rain is when you really get to see how good or bad you did. Anyway, this is where I had seepage going down that hill. So I was piling soil this way so the water would hit it, flow in and go into there. You can see where you can kind of get a result of your work. I mean, I am not done with this. I need to continue this up to the propane tank there. But you can see I've got a low spot here holding water. And then you can also see what I talked about on the diversion swale, that the water was puddling to the right and seeping down. And as I pan across it, it kind of shows it. We do have a high spot in the middle. We've got this area where there's no water, and then it's pulling here. So I need to just make my mental note. This cedar tree here, I need to add soil into this area to raise the level to get all that water flowing to the left, which is what I want to happen. And then from there it goes down in my terrace system. I also want to go check the one log dam because it's probably overflowing right now, so I want to take a video of it. So let me move down there. Okay, well, here's my one log dam. Probably 6 inches from overflowing. I was just hoping to get a video because that's pretty cool to see the water overflowing. I've got V notches cut in and all the water pours out of those V notches. We had I guess a few weeks ago we had a freeze. I mean, the grass was just starting to green up, and then we had a freeze of 11 to 13 degrees Fahrenheit, which is, I think I did the calculator and it was negative 10 degrees Celsius. Anyway, it was just greening up, and then we had that freeze and everything dried again, and the whole place looked like it was the middle of the summer here when our drought. Anyway, this rain is probably the first rain since then, so we should start seeing things green up. I mean, here in the winter time we got plenty of green grass. Anyway, hoping to show that to you, overflowing. I mean, honestly, come April, May, when we get the rains, it'll be greener. And I mean, just think about all this grass just green and lush and water overflowing. It's a beautiful sight. Anyway, we'll just have to have patience on that to see it. Okay, this is an area where I was never able to show it to you with water in it. I'm going to call this a 100-year floodplain. I mean, it just scooped out here as the water flows down. Well, I didn't dig a hole, I just added a berm. I added this area here to dam it up, and you can see where it has got water. I feel that, I think I put some wood chips in there, but I'm just trying to build soil there and some depth. Anyway, this is where a big tree was that just collapsed. And that right there is the beginning of another pocket pond. I had to divert off the earthworks because we were building the greenhouse, but we'll be getting back on this. Well, you can see a culvert over there. I don't know if you remember from a walkthrough. If you watched the walkthrough, I got a pond on both sides of that culvert, so it fills up before it exits the culvert, then it fills up again as it exits. Hope I got the wording right there. I'm not good with words. Then I'm going to show one other thing, which is my big swale. Let me run over there real quick. Okay, we're here at my big swale. And coming and looking after rain is so important. You know, when you're building a swale, the first thing you do is get everything on contour, and you mark your contour lines, because you want the water to fall in equally everywhere, just falling in, dropping in, and not moving left, not moving right, because that causes disturbances. But you do that, and then you come and dig your hole. You don't know if you're digging a constant depth, and you don't know if your berm is at a constant depth. And I've got a skid steer, so I don't really worry about it. I build it, look at it after rain, and then go do the necessary remedies on it. But what I can tell right here is the water's coming out at the bottom. Now, I don't disagree with that, because this is on the high side of my land. You go to the other side, that's on the low side of the land. The highway's over here, and I've got a pond down here. But having it exit here is not bad, because it puts it on the high side, so it's going to start working downhill. I mean, honestly, I'm actually thinking about maybe even converting this into a terrace, you know, where the water's flowing down this way, falls down, and maybe another terrace, and just zigzag it down. I mean, one thing I do with my swales is I want them wide and shallow. I mean, I periodically have to mow. I mean, I've got cows out here, but you got to think about the stuff that the cows don't eat. They're going to take over. So, you know, there's certain things that are flowering and seeding, and they'll take over the whole pasture. So I do build them where I can mow it. So wide and shallow. Lets me get the mower through here. Anyway, so technically we didn't do a good job on this one. We can fix it. Puddling on the left, we got a high spot in the middle, and then it looks like it's probably slowly moving to the right down there. Anyway, it's probably the first time since I built it that the grass was low enough where I can see what was going on, and we had rain. I mean, we went 2022 with, man, 12 inches of rain for the whole year. We're usually getting in the 32 to 36 inch range. Anyway, I think I'm gonna shut this down here. This showed what I needed to see, so I can come back and do some fixing. Anyway, you guys have a great day.